Welcome back to Insurance Talk Texas, the show that helps North Texas families protect what matters most. Today, we're tackling something affecting a huge chunk of folks across Frisco, McKinney, and Plano right now, renters insurance. Because it is lease season. Recent grads, new hires, families relocating to Collin County, everybody's signing leases this month.
And that's exactly why we picked it. If you've signed a lease at a professionally managed complex lately, there's a good chance your landlord required renter's insurance. And a lot of people just check the box without understanding what they're buying.
Right, so let's clear up the first thing, because this confuses everybody. Does Texas legally require renter's insurance? No, the state does not require you to carry it by law.
But, and this is the big but, your landlord absolutely can require it. Under Texas Property Code Section 92.0131, a landlord can make renter's insurance a condition of your lease. So the government isn't forcing you, but your lease very well might be.
And that's such an important distinction. The way the team at Schell Insurance explains it, the government doesn't mandate it, but your lease is a contract, and if it says you need it, you need it. Show up without a policy when your lease requires one, and you're in violation from day one.
That's a great point, and it's the norm now. Most larger complexes in Plano, Allen, and Prosper want proof of coverage before you even get the keys.
So what are landlords looking for? Usually two pieces. First, personal liability coverage, often a minimum of $100,000, which responds if a kitchen fire spreads from your unit or your overflowing tub damages the apartment below.
Exactly. The second piece is personal property coverage, which protects your actual belongings, furniture, electronics, clothes, all of it. And this is where I want people to slow down, because there's a misconception that costs folks thousands. A ton of renters assume that if something happens to the building, the landlord's insurance covers their stuff. It does not. It covers the structure and the owner's interest, not one thing that belongs to you inside that unit. That is so crucial. So if there's a fire, a break-in, a tornado, a burst pipe, the landlord's insurance does nothing for your belongings. Your renter's policy, what the industry calls an HO4 policy, is the only thing standing between you and replacing everything out of pocket. And when you add it up, it's more than people think. For most North Texas renters, you're looking at $20,000 to $40,000 in personal property coverage, even more if you work in tech with expensive equipment, which is what the advisors at Schell Insurance help you figure out, because guessing is how people end up underinsured.
And here's a pro tip. Ask for replacement cost coverage instead of actual cash value. If your 2-year-old laptop gets stolen, actual cash value pays the depreciated price. Replacement cost pays what a brand new one costs. Big difference when you're recovering.
Huge. Now there's a third piece almost nobody thinks about, loss of use coverage. If a covered event like a fire makes your apartment unlivable, loss of use pays for temporary housing, a hotel or short-term rental, even some extra meal costs while you're displaced. Without it, you're paying for 2 places to live at once.
And that wrecks a budget overnight. Now we have to talk about the single biggest gap that trips up Texas renters, and we see it every storm season: flooding. Your renter's insurance does not cover flood damage, period. It covers a burst pipe inside your unit, but rising water from outside, a flash flood, a creek overflowing, that's flood, and it's excluded.
And this one breaks my heart because people find out at the worst moment. North Texas knows flash flooding. This is not coastal only. Texas now requires landlords to disclose in new leases whether the home has flooded in the past 5 years or sits in a 100-year floodplain.
And get this, over 40% of flood claims nationally come from outside the high-risk zones, so thinking you're safe because you're not near a lake or river, that's a dangerous assumption in Collin and Denton County. So what's the fix? For flood protection, you need a separate flood policy, and a renter can get a contents-only version. But there's typically a 30-day waiting period, which means you can't wait until a storm's in the forecast. This is why so many North Texas renters call Schell Insurance to walk through it.
Because an independent agency like Schell Insurance can shop multiple carriers, bundle your renters, flood, and even auto, and make sure you're not leaving a giant gap. You can reach them at 972-423-4546.
One more warning, be careful with lease bundled insurance, where the complex offers you a policy at signing. Sometimes those only cover the limited liability the landlord requires and do nothing for your personal property. You think you're covered, and your stuff isn't. So let's bring it home. 1, Texas doesn't require renter's insurance by law, but your landlord can under your lease, and that's enforceable. 2, the landlord's insurance covers the building, never your belongings. 3, get replacement cost coverage, not actual cash value, and don't forget loss of use. And 4, the big one, renter's insurance does not cover flooding. In flash flood-prone North Texas, you need a separate flood policy before the storm because of that 30-day wait.
Fantastic rundown. If any of this raised a question, talk to a local independent agency that knows this market. Schell Insurance serves Frisco, McKinney, Plano, Prosper, Allen, and all of Collin and Denton County.
Give them a call at 972-423-4546 or head to their website. That's SchellInsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. They'll do a free coverage review and make sure you're protected.
Because the worst time to find out you're underinsured is right after you've lost everything. A few minutes with Schell Insurance now can save you a fortune later.
That's the whole game. Thanks for joining us on Insurance Talk Texas. Reach Schell Insurance at 972-423-4546 or at SCHELL insurance.com. Protect your stuff, know your lease, and we'll see you next week on Insurance Talk Texas.